Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line Podcast. I'm Ryan Dunleavy,
Nemron Zelensky.
and today in Game Two of the series in Philadelphia, the Cubs with a big 10-4 win, highlighted by a three-hit night by Alex Bregman and a big home run by Carson Kelly late in the game. Colin Ray was great, and this was a great team win.
Yeah, big win, especially because of what happened last night. But for the bats to kind of wake up, respond, especially going down 3-0 early in the game, you're able to come back. The bats really got going tonight. You win the game 10-4. Another great team win like we had in Tampa that day. They won big. I think it was 9-2. But yeah, today, big win. Go win a series tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you probably faced the two best pitchers you're going to see in the series, too. I mean, Aaron Nola tonight, Christopher Sanchez yesterday, and these were two really good top tier pitchers the Cubs had to face. And being able to put up, I believe, 17 runs in two games, not too shabby at all. Just the pitching has to find some consistency, and the team just needs to play complete baseball, if I'm going to be honest, because a lot of times the pitching's great and the offense is nowhere to be found. And then when the offense is great, the pitching is not firing on all cylinders. So if
Mhm.
you get both of those units clicking together, this team is really going to start to get hot. And I mean, they're only one game under 500 right now. So are the Phillies, two teams that are considered juggernauts in the NL. And if the Cubs can get a win tomorrow, they'll get back at 500 heading into a big homestand.
Yeah, I agree. Just win tomorrow, get back to 500, and then worry about, the big run and getting over 500 after that.
Yeah, for sure. So, Rye, I'll hand it over to you for today's recap.
Yeah, so today we got a fun recap. I mean, yesterday, just kind of brush over that. They lost 13-7. It was 13-2 in the eighth inning, and the Cubs put up five. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, Ian Happ was up with two on, so like if he got a hold of one, it would have been a 3-run game, and then actually like it would have meant something. But kind of a pointless rally. But in this one, they win the game 10-4. They get to 8-9. The Phillies drop to also 8-9. Top of the first inning, Nico Horner grounds out to short. Bush strikes out swinging, and Bregman strikes out looking. Bottom of the first, Turner flies out. Schwarber strikes out. Harper flies out. Top of the second inning, Ian Happ leads off the inning with a single. Seiya grounds into a fielder's choice. Happ out at second. Seiya gets to first. Then Mo Baller drives one into center field. Really good piece of hitting from him here on two strikes. First and second, and then Carson Kelly grounds into a double play to kill that rally. Bottom of the second inning, Brandon Marsh with a one-out single. JT Realmuto hits a chopper, gets a single, an infield single. Sorry, gets the first on an infield single. Marsh to second. Bryson Stott grounds out to first. Realmuto goes to second. Marsh goes to third. So second and third, two out. Don't really know if Bush had the double play here. He looked, but he passed it on, and I would rather that than risk an overthrow. But honestly, maybe would have rather risked the overthrow after what's about to happen here. Sosa hits a homer to center, 442 feet. Thing was an absolute tank, dead center. It was way gone. Phillies go up 3-0, and I'm thinking, boy, it's gonna be another long day. They're gonna lose by 5-6 runs. I mean, was that your thoughts?
Yeah, 100%. After Sosa hit this bomb, you go down three. I'm like, offense didn't look great early in the game. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a long one, and they're going to go have to avoid getting swept tomorrow in Philly.
Yeah. So to end that inning, Crawford with the strikeout. Top of the third inning, PCA leads off with a double to right. Dansby grounds out to third. This was a nice play because Sosa looks back PCA. As soon as Sosa lets go of the ball, PCA dead sprint to third, and he's able to get in there safely without a throwback across the diamond. Nico with a single into center to score Pete. Bush singles to right. Nico tries to stretch that to third, and he gets tagged out. He was shaken up a little bit, but he ended up being okay. Bregman reaches on an infield single, and then I think this was the one where, I mean, it was a base hit, but just kind of got tapped, and then Trey Turner went and picked up the ball, but it was a single. And then Bush goes to second, so first and second, Hap with a ball that I thought left the yard. I didn't know that. I thought in Philly the wall was like here, and then that silver part was gone. So as soon as it hit and hit that silver part, like right at the top of the wall, I was like, oh, it's gone, okay. But I didn't know that wasn't out. So it hit like the very top of the wall. I thought it was gone, but Ended up being a double, scoring Michael Bush, getting Breggy over to third, so second and third for Seiya, and he strikes out. He's been tough in clutch situations in his first week here, but scores 3-2. So the Cubs do respond with 2 runs after the Sosa homer. You like to see that. Bottom of the third, Phillies go down 1-2-3. Top of the fourth, Cubs go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the fourth, JT Realmuto a 2-out single, and then Stott strikes out to end the inning. Top of the fifth inning, Dansby walks to lead off the inning. Nico strikes out. Bush walks, so first and second with 1 out. Breggy singles to center, scores. Dansby gets Bush to second, and then Hap grounds into a fielder's choice. Pitcher to second, and then Hap able to get to first safely, and then Seiya strikes out to end the inning. So 3-3 tie ball game. Bottom of the fifth, Phillies go down 1-2-3. Top of the sixth, Matt Shaw pinch hits for Mo Baller here. How did you feel about this move?
I was kind of fine with it, honestly. I mean, Mo Baller's had his struggles lefty lefty. Give Shaw the favorable matchup. I like what Council's done with that DH spot, so I was completely fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, Mo Baller's just been an unbelievable hitter though, so it's like tough to see him leave the lineup.
I
But
yeah, that's I
yeah,
understand that completely. Like Mo Baller's been firing on all cylinders. He's been killing the ball. I think he's hitting like 330 over that probably right now. Um, he was hitting two versus the Pirates the other night. He's been kind of every day in the lineup, and I think he's a chance to win the NL Rookie of the Year if I'm going to be completely honest. And I mean that was kind of off topic of if I like the Matt Shaw move or not. I was just
no, yeah, no,
raving
you're
about
right,
how
you're right.
good Mo Baller's been.
Yeah, so to see him leave the lineup was kind of tough, but like I understand the matchup. But Shaw hits a pretty good ground ball to over to second. He grounds out. Kelly walks. PCA gets hit by a pitch. So first and second with 1 out. Dansby grounds to the pitcher. Pitcher throws it into center, or it might have got backed up, but still throw got away. Um, PCA gets to second safely. Carson Kelly gets to third safely. Dansby is safe at first. Then Nico Horner delivers two RBI single. He rips one into center field. I mean, Nico, Mr. Reliable. He's such a good hitter when you need a base hit or when you need a job done. Then Bush walks, so it is first and second, I believe, or no, bases loaded again. Bregman singles, scores Nico and Dansby, gets Bush over to second. Cubs up 7-3, so a big inning there from them to take the lead. Big sixth inning, so that's 7 straight runs from the Cubs. Bottom of the sixth, Phillies go down 1-2-3. Top of the seventh, Michael Conforto pinch hits for Matt Shaw. I'll ask you again, what did you think about this move?
Conforto's been high as of late. He's been hitting the ball well versus righties. Shaw's seen his struggles versus righties. I like this move.
I agree. I was completely fine with it, especially because, like you said, Michael Conforto he's been pretty hot as of late. He started awful, and then he's been pretty well. So I was honestly okay with it. But he strikes out looking. Kelly singles, PCA
It
strikes
was
out.
a good at bat though on that Conforto at
It
bat.
was a good at bat. It was a let's see here, 6 pitch. Yeah, 6 pitch AB, 0-2, took 3 straight, and then he swung and missed. But I mean, solid to work the count full though. And then, yeah, so Kelly singles, PCA strikes out, Dansby walks. So first and second, and then Nico just gets under this one. He flies out to center to end the inning. Bottom of the seventh inning, Brandon Marsh flies out, JT Realmuto grounds out, and Bryson Stott flies out. Top of the eighth, Cubs go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the eighth, Sosa leads off with a double. He went down and to try to just dig this up off the ground. I don't even know how he left the infield, but he gets it to the track. Ian Happ, really good diving effort here, and he almost got it. Then Crawford flies out to center. Sosa to third. PCA almost guns him down. It was a really close play. Really bad tag by Bregman, though. He had it out here. Sosa had his hand right out there, and instead of slapping the hand, he would have got him, but he went to reach out on the body. But pretty bad tag. The throw beat him, though. It was a really good throw. Trey Turner then singles to right, makes it 7-4. Schwarber singles, so first and second, and then Bryce Harper strikes out. Really good AB by Caleb Thielbar to get Harper. I believe it was on a full count. So yeah, it was on a full count, and it was a really good four seamer. Um, then a wild pitch gets Schwarber to second, Trey Turner to third. Garcia draws a walk. And then Bohm comes in for Brandon Marsh and Caleb Thielbar able to strike out Alec Bohm to get out of trouble because that, I mean, a gapper from Alec Bohm and the game's tied. So that was a pretty big moment in the game for Caleb Thielbar, able to get out of trouble. We go to the ninth. Sale leads off with a single. Miggy draws a walk, and then Carson Kelly bomb to center field, 422 feet. Jim DeShays called this one too. He said, "How about a homer here?" And Carson Kelly hit a bomb to straightaway center, 422. 3-run shot, knockout punch, makes it 10-4. PCA singles. Um, Dansby then strikes out. PCA gets over to second on stolen base. Nico flies out, and then Michael Bush grounds out, so that ends that inning. And then Ryan Rollison comes in for the ninth inning. JT Realmuto flies out. Bryson Stott reaches on an infield single, and then Muna Sosa grounds into game-ending double play. Third to second to first, 5-4-3. Cubs win. So solid game here from the boys. What were your overall thoughts?
I love this performance. I mean, started off really slow, down 3-0, but the bats really woke up, found their groove. Alex Bregman set the tone and led this team with 3 hits tonight. Nico Horner, clutch as usual. You got the hits. The top of the order was firing on all cylinders. You got hits from the bottom of the lineup when you needed it. This was just a complete team win. And I love to see it and carry this momentum and go in a series tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. So two pretty convincing wins by both teams. Last night the Phillies really convincingly beat down the Cubs. Tonight the Cubs pretty convincingly put away the Phillies. Tomorrow, I mean, we could be looking at a pretty close game because I feel like that's what usually happens when there's two blowouts. There's a battle the next day, so it'll be pretty interesting to look at. But we'll get to that in a moment. I'll go through the Cubs pitching here. Riley Martin gets a start. The Cubs go with an opener to Colin Ray. He goes an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, a strikeout. He threw 6 pitches, all of them for strikes. Colin Ray then gets the ball. He goes 6 innings, 4 hits, gave up 3 runs, but that was just on a homer. No walks, 5 strikeouts, 87 pitches, 58 for strikes. He is now at a 3.63 ERA. Jacob Webb went just a third. He gave up 2 hits, a run, no walks, no strikeouts. He threw 15 pitches, 9 of them for strikes. Caleb Thielbar goes in for 2/3. He shut the door in the eighth inning, and in that bases loaded jam, gives up a hit, no runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts. He threw 18 pitches, 10 of them for strikes. His ERA is now a 3 flat. And then Ryan Rollison comes in for an inning. Gives up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. He threw 11 pitches, 7 of them for strikes. So, do you have player of the game today? I mean, I know it could go to a couple people. In my mind, it's Alex Bregman. He was at one point 3 for 4, but hit a rocket on his last AB. Um, he drove in 3 today, 3 for 5. Really good comeback day for Braggy. But who's your player of the game?
Definitely a couple. My first, I'm gonna go with this Alex Bregman, 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Nico Horner was 2 for 6 with 3 RBIs as well. Carson Kelly was 2 for 4 with a bomb and 3 RBIs. PCA 2 for 4, including a lefty hit. Just a lot of great individual efforts from a lot of these guys. Riley Martin, 1, 2, 3 inning against 3 of the best hitters in the National League. Colin Ray went 6 innings, a 4 hit, 3 earned run baseball. Ryan Rollison was very solid in his Cubs debut. I'd give it to Alex Bregman, but this was just a team effort. I mean, the only guys not recording a hit today in the lineup were the guys that pinch hit at that DH spot and Dansby Swanson. Every starter besides Dansby recorded a hit today, so it was just a hit parade for this team against a pretty solid pitching staff. Like Aaron Nola, Brad Keller, Tanner Banks, like those are some pretty solid arms that the Cubs hit pretty well today, and that just shows that they can hit high leverage arms.
Yeah, I agree with you. You finally got a sense of what this lineup really could be down the stretch. Yeah, I mean, a really good team win today, and the bats were finally there. So we will get into tomorrow's recap tomorrow at 5:40 first pitch, same as it's been the whole series. It's the rubber match: Shota Imanaga versus Jesus Luzardo. Shota is 0-1 with a 2.81 ERA, 16 innings, 9 hits. He's given up 9 hits, thrown 20 strikeouts, only 4 walks, and 1 homer. So kind of jumps out to me as only 1 homer. Obviously, you see the record at 0-1, but he's thrown the ball really, really good. It's really been the offense that hasn't been able to back him up. But Shota, you see the record, but completely scratch that. He's been, in my opinion, the Cubs ace this year, and only giving up one home run. So, I mean, what do you think about my take of Shota being the ace right now and just how he's throwing the ball?
I mean, I completely agree with that. The Cubs, I don't really. I think Edward Cabrera's got to be your ace, just the way he's performed. I think Shota's definitely your number two, but I mean, Cabrera went 11 innings of no hit baseball. He gave up 3 runs versus a pretty good Pirates lineup. I think Shota has definitely looked very good. I wouldn't call him your ace yet, but I need to see some more from him in order to be considered an ace, I would think.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, especially too just because of the injuries right now. You're very short on starters, but yeah. So Jesus Luzardo, 1-2 with a 6.23 ERA, 17 and a third thrown. He's given up 16 hits, 26 strikeouts. He's also given up 4 walks and 2 homers. So what tomorrow are your keys to winning and score prediction?
So my first thing is expect a lot of righties in the lineup tomorrow. I think that whoever doesn't play out of Amaya and Kelly will probably end up DHing, and don't be surprised if you see Matt Shaw playing first base again. Um, Luzardo kind of throws at a 3/4 angle with solid velocity. It's a really hard angle to hit if you're a left-handed hitter, so I think we're going to see a lot of righties in the game tomorrow. Keys, you got to get to the starting pitcher early. If you get to Luzardo early, put some runs up, set the tone, I think then you're in cruise control for the rest of the game. Shota, he has to have a good outing tomorrow. I mean, expectations, if you go 6 innings of 2, 3 run baseball, I think that's a W for sure. I know there's a lot of home runs at Phillies Park, so he's definitely got to limit the long ball and be safe pitching around guys like Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Trey Turner. And then lastly, the bullpen's going to find some consistency. They've been struggling getting hit very hard as of late. So if your bullpen can lock up, Shota can go 6 innings of 2, 3 run baseball, and the righties in the lineup can really connect. I think that you win the game tomorrow 6-4.
I like that. I think it's going to be a little lower scoring. I think the Cubs win at 4-2. I think Schroeder's going to have another solid start. I think he gives up those two, but he has a solid start, and the bullpen really shuts the door, and they win the game 4-2.
Like that.
So again, a couple questions here. My first one is kind of about just the inconsistency in the lineup. I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but there's just a lot of inconsistency going on tonight. A little bit of an exception, but usually when we see the bats on, the pitching's off. Like when we won, like Cubs win 7-6 on Sunday, you could call it a solid pitching day, which I mean it was one grand slam and then a solo shot. So I mean that's not terrible, but when the bats seem to perform, the pitching isn't there, and then when the pitching is there, like we saw Shota through a no through 6 no-hit innings. Um, and did they close out the Edward Cabrera game where he had given up the no? I think they did.
Versus Cleveland, they did. Yes, they
Yeah,
won that game 1-0.
that's
But
right.
the first time Carrera pitched, it was 0-0 when he left the game, and they ended up losing that one 2-0.
Yeah, but there you go. Like you throw really good and you only win the game 1-0, and then obviously again, like I said, Shota goes in, um, and doesn't give up a hit, and you still lose 2-0. So how are they gonna have to find some sort of consistency because you're gonna need consistency if you're gonna be a winning ball club.
Um, I think you're just gonna need to find ways to plate runs every game, no matter if that's small ball, bunting, sac flies, stealing bags, or if that's using the long ball and getting extra base hits. You're just gonna have to have multiple ways to find ways to plate runs, I think. And if one's not working, you got to rely on the other. If you're not hitting long balls, got to revolt back to small ball. If small ball's not working, then you leave the yard. So I think you just got to have multiple attacks and approaches and ways to plate runs.
I agree. I mean, you got to find a way to find a way. Like I think that in games like we saw on last Friday, again, like I keep bringing up the game where Shota throws no hits. When you're not scoring and there's a no hitter happening on the other side of the diamond, you have to let me know what you think about this. Like you have to be like, okay, we're not hitting for power today. Small ball. You know what
I
I mean?
100% agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
you don't swing at a lot of pitches. You're taking the first pitch. If you get walk or hit, you take that. You steal bags, you bunt, you take sac flies. Any way you can plate runs, you take that.
Yeah, like in my opinion, if there's two on, one out in the third inning, I don't know if, or two on first and second, nobody out in like the second or third inning. I don't think you bunt yet. But I mean, if the
Unless it's like your 9 or 8 hitter.
yeah, unless it's your 9 or 8 hitter or the conditions are very bad, but like, you gotta see what you're working with. But if it gets into the seventh inning and you have one run on the board, you gotta bunt, sac flies, stuff like that. You gotta, like I said, you gotta find a way to find a way.
100%.
So tonight, four guys got ABs in the DH spot. Obviously, this was some part of them winning by four, but also just kind of the matchup that they like the best. What do you think Craig does moving forward with that spot?
I think he continues to do what we've seen. I think you got four guys that are kind of competing for that spot. Um, no matter whether it's Amaya or Kelly catching, and then you have Conforto, Shaw, Mo Baller. I think versus right-handed pitchers, Mo Baller's always going to get the start. Versus lefties, I think it's going to most likely be the catcher that's not playing. And I think Craig just plays matchup heavy with this role until you can really find a guy that's solidified. And if Mo Baller starts to hit lefty well, I think you leave him in that spot and let him go.
I agree. I think when it's righties, it should just be Mo Baller. Like Mo Baller should
100%.
just be the everyday DH when there's righties, and when there's lefties, you match up play that. I mean, Miggy maybe. Sometimes Carson Kelly, like you said, just the catcher that's not playing. I like that, but yeah, I mean, it's. I feel like it's also a little too early to set on one guy. You still have time to be flexible.
I agree with that.
So tonight, Kevin Alcantara, two homers. He's now at seven on the year. Do you bring him up now and let him see some time in the bigs, but he could be on the bench for a little bit, be kind of a utility guy, or do you let him succeed in the minors and then bring him up when there is a definitive spot for him?
I'd say unless there's an injury within your outfield or your utility guys, you let him play every day, hit leadoff, continue raking in Iowa, and then you call him up around the middle to end of July, beginning of October, and he plays the playoffs with you and gets meaningful games. And he's ready by then, and then when it comes to next season, he makes the opening day roster, and they don't have to sign a guy like a Michael Conforto or a Scott Kingery. You have Kevin Alcantara on your team, and if say Hap or Suzuki doesn't resign, then that's Kevin Alcantara's starting spot next year. So I think you don't make the same mistake you made with Matt Shaw and bring him up too early. I think you let Alcantara play in Iowa, call him up at the end of the year, and then have him ready to compete for a starting spot on the opening day roster next season. No matter whether no matter what that looks like.
I agree because there's really no spot for him right now. You have a really good outfield right now, and it's not like he's gonna have to DH. Like I think when there's not a definitive spot for him open right now, there's no point for him to sit the bench. Go down in Iowa, get the reps. Like you said with Matt Shaw, they brought him up too early, and you know what that can do to a guy. So I think you keep him down there, you let him play every day, CAVs. I mean, he's doing just fine. So, um, yeah, I think I
I think
think
it's the
you're
same
right.
case for a guy like Jonathan Long too. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, he
yeah.
probably could be up right now, but I think that you let him develop and then he makes the opening day roster next year and hits versus lefties and starts at first base when Michael Bush has to face that lefty, and he also can DH for you. I think Alcantara and Long are two guys that can make the team out of camp next year, but it's just going to take time for them to develop, and I think you give them most of the season and call them both up as your October-ish middle of July calls. But if there's an injury and something happens, then those two guys are ready to start at the big league level.
Yeah, I agree because it's not like there's really like I said, like a place for them. So there's no reason to waste time and just have them sit the bench. So I completely agree with that. But yeah, so take a look on the MLB here.
Yeah, I could do that if
Oh
you
yeah,
want. You can still see my screen, right?
yeah, you got that.
Perfect. So the Rays beat the White Sox 8-5. Ben Williamson with two RBI doubles. Rookie Noah Schultz struggled in his MLB debut. The Padres are currently beating the Mariners 3-1. Low scoring game. Tatis with the RBI single. The Athletics are beating the Rangers 2-1. Jacob Wilson hit a 2-run single in the bottom of the third inning. The Dodgers and the Mets are tied at 1-1 in a pitcher's duel between Nolan McLean and Yashibu Yamamoto, two of the best young pitchers in the game. Francisco Lindor hit a leadoff home run, and the Dodgers tagged along one inning in the first. But through 7 innings, there's only been 2 hits from each team. So a classic pitcher's duel in LA between two of the best young arms in the league. The D-backs beat the Orioles 4-3. Merrill Kelly with a very solid start. Paul Sewell got the save. The Tigers beat the Royals 2-1. Kenley Jansen's save gets the Tigers a 2-1 win. The Nationals beat the Pirates 5-4. CJ Abrams with a win that moves the Nationals to 8-9 on the season. The Reds beat the Giants 2-1. Sal Stewart and Spencer Steer both went deep for solo shots, and that's all it took to win this one in a low scoring affair in Cincinnati, where the Reds only tallied 3 hits, but were still able to find a way to win this one. The Angels beat the Yankees 7-1. The Angels hit 3 consecutive home runs in the 7-1 win. Reed Dempster's got the win on the mound. The Braves beat the Marlins 6-5. A 3-run second for Miami. They were up 4-1 at one point, but then the Braves kept chipping away and they pulled away a 3-run eighth inning. And then Rafael Iglesias came in for the save as he has 3 saves in a row with no runs allowed. The Twins beat the Red Sox 6-0. Sonny Gray got shelled. McAble with a solid start for the Twins. The Blue Jays beat the Brewers in 10 innings, 9-7. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the go-ahead double in extra innings. Love to see that. Toronto plated a 3-run ninth inning and a 3-run 10th inning. The Cardinals beat the Guardians 6-5 in extra inning. Nathan Church hit a walk-off sac fly as the Cardinals moved to 9-8 on the year. The Astros beat the Rockies 7-6. The Astros had a 6-run third inning that led them to the win. Division leading updates: Cincinnati and Pittsburgh tied in the NL Central at 10-7. The Braves at 11-7 in the NL East. The Dodgers at 12-4 in the NL West. The Rays at 9-7 in the AL East. The Twins at 11-7 in the AL Central, which no one expected. Everyone thought they'd be garbage when they're on a 4-game heater right now.
Yeah, I could not believe that. They're playing really good ball right now. And like especially last year's deadline, you couldn't name one guy in their team. And now here they are. Like they're one of the big surprises for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if that's sustainable, but they're playing good ball for now. And the
Yeah.
Rangers lead the AL West at 9-7. So now it's time for your guys' favorite MLB pickle. So Ryan, who do you want to start out with?
We'll go. Let's go Alex Bregman.
Everyone, I like that. You had a big day today. NL Central throws right-handed, probably bats lefty or switchy.
Wait, which
So
division? NL.
NL Central.
What is the essential? Okay. Not the Cubs, right?
I'm gonna go with Matthew Liberatore just to see if we can get a starting pitcher or get the team. Either
Okay.
or. Liberatore. So bats from the left side. So lefty righty in the NL Central from the USA. So Brewers
Is
lefty righty.
Sal
I know Jake Bowers is one
or
on the
do
Brewers.
Terang, do Terang.
Terrain. All right, I can do that. Bryce Terrain. My thing wants to load. Oop. Transfer over to the phone here as my Chromebook does not want to load right now.
Yeah, I'm having internet trouble here too. I'm trying to pull it up. Hold on.
I got it right now.
You do? Okay, perfect.
All right, perfect. Terrain. All right, not on the Brewers, lefty righty USA, second baseman. So he's not on the Cardinals, Milwaukee. So Pirates, lefty, 82nd base, Brandon Lowe.
Yeah, that should be it.
Yep. And that is your MLB pickle player of the day, Brandon Lowe, as he had a day versus the Cubs on Sunday in a good series. So
Yeah,
now
he
we'll
did.
play Immaculate Grid. So starting off with the Reds and Tigers. Ooh. Well, I think for Reds in Arizona, we could go Eugenio Suarez.
Yep. Yeah.
And then for Reds Gold Glove, ooh, do you think Votto won
Wow.
one?
He had to have.
Yeah, I think we could try Joey Votto. Yup, he did. And then Rangers and Tigers. Ooh. We
Wait,
could
I'll
do
remember that.
Tigers 100 RBI season, Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, give that one. And then 100 RBIs, the Diamondbacks, Goldie.
Yeah, he had to have.
And then Gold Glove, 100 RBIs.
Mm,
I did, uh, hold on, did Barry win one?
really go. Anyone? Mm,
Did he win? Oh, he did. He won 8 of them. Yeah, Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, perfect. All right, let's try see if we can nail these teams. Gold Glove for the Rangers. Do you think
Did
Simeon or Seager won one?
try Seager, because I feel like he would have.
He did not. I'm gonna try Simeon.
If he didn't try Beltray.
Simeon won one.
Okay.
There we go. So Arizona and Texas. I think Jock Peterson played for gold.
Yeah, he did. He did, because he's on the Rangers right now, and I remember we Cubs played him in
Yep,
24.
Jock Peterson. So now he's got to get Reds and Tigers, and then Rangers and Tigers.
Tigers are killing us today.
Yeah, I know. Ooh. Reds and Tigers. I mean, I'm gonna guess Kirk Casale. I don't know if he ever played for the Tigers. He did not. We'll keep going. Or I'll see who the most common answer. The Tigers were killing us today. It was Nick Castellanos for Tigers and Reds and Prince
Oh,
Fielder for Tigers and Rangers.
that hurts. God,
Yeah.
that's very gettable.
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. Big win from the Cubs. We'll come back at you guys with the show tomorrow and then an off day show, first one of the year on Thursday. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. As always, go Cubs go. Signing off, Ryan Dunleavy.
Ryan Zelinsky.
See you guys next episode. Peace out.